Rolling right along with our never too early preview series, baby. We got Georgia going to Tennessee, SEC opener for both sides. This will be the third week of the college football season. It takes a special breed of sicko to get excited about a game that's happening the third week of the college football season. Good news, that's y'all, man, because you're clicking on this video and watching this video during the month of May, so thank you for that. If you're a Georgia fan, a Tennessee fan, make sure you are subscribed. We're going to give you our lean in this video as it pertains to this game. We'll give you our official prediction when this game gets a bit closer. To make sure you don't miss any of that, again, make sure you are subscribed. Follow me on the socials, Instagram and Twitter, at JD PicKell. Want to hear your pick over on those platforms. But to break this thing down a little bit, man, I could see this game being a street fight. And what I mean by that is you have Gunnar Stockton making his first road start in the SEC. You have Joey Aguilar making his first road start in the SEC as well, being his first year at Tennessee. I think both of these teams are built to what I call punch you in the face. Right? That's what they both want to do. Georgia didn't see as much of that from what they were, traditionally last season. I have to believe now, Kirby Smart, Glenn Schumann, Mike Bobo as the OC, think they probably got in a room this past offseason and said, listen, man, if we don't do anything else this season, we're going to play our brand of football, which is what I just said. Make sure we smack you around, control the line of scrimmage, and win ball games by pushing you against your will on both sides of the line of scrimmage. That's what they've been known to do. Do we see that back in 2025? I think they'll make sure that they do that or die trying. For Tennessee, I know we think a lot about the splash plays from 2022, but Tennessee overall has been a run the football, play good defense kind of outfit for the most part since Josh Heupel's gotten there, right around 200 yards the last 2 years running the football. And they've had a top 5 defense last year, and they're pretty deep on the defensive line yet again. I think that's still their MO. Now, my feel on this is, as we sit here right now during the month of May, jumping into the wonderful thing that is summer in the college football season, I see this as a wash right now. Now, if either side controls that matchup, then I think they're probably going to be in a good spot to win the football game, which isn't saying a ton. That's pretty much how college football works. You have the big people that win their matchups, you win the ball game. I think it's going to be a stalemate in a lot of ways. So what this comes down to for me is what you get from your quarterbacks. The identity of both these teams entering into their third game, I think, will start to be taking shape. Maybe not formed just yet. You'd like it to take shape in this game and be formed in this spot. But for both of these quarterbacks, and Aguilar and Stockton, which of them best embodies that identity they have to have for their football team, and which is the difference in this football game? Like Joey Aguilar, when you play a team like a Georgia, and they've got that logo, and they've got the prestige, and it's Kirby Smart on the sideline, I think I have to imagine now, I think the ultimate maybe predisposition is to be a bit tentative because of all those things I just mentioned. I think when we've seen Georgia get got, we've seen teams be super aggressive and go after them. Like Ole Miss last year, they did not care about who their head coach was. They did not care about what the defense was. They were going after them. They were swinging for the chin all 4 quarters, and they ultimately won that football game 28-10. If I'm Joey Aguilar, not to downplay this opportunity, but this is house money. This dude was at UCLA in the spring. He is now playing for Tennessee in a Josh Heupel offense, starting against a team that won the national championship 2 of the last 4 seasons. Joey Aguilar, go cut it loose, man. Let it rip. Because you doing that, one, I think it's ultimately his style of play that's going to allow Tennessee to be successful at the highest level. 2, that overall mentality, your football team behind you taking on that persona of we're going to burn the boats, lock the gates, whatever you want to say. That's how I think you end up winning this football game. Because what I just said, I think that the line of scrimmage will be a wash. So if you can get some plays downfield against the Georgia secondary that last year looked very un-Georgia-ish and was pretty gettable, connect on a few deep shots, maybe just maybe Neyland gets rocking, things get rolling, and maybe Tennessee takes some momentum, end up winning this football game. I don't know, but that's a path that I could see them having. And a lot of that, again, would go back to Joey Aguilar, just cutting it loose, not worried about mistakes, letting it rip. Now, for Georgia, it's almost a similar genre when you talk about Gunnar Stockton and what he has to do. To me, it's less, though, about letting it rip and more about kind of having that killer instinct, that relentlessness from your quarterback. Because last year, I want to be careful how I say this, but to me, it felt a little bit robotic watching Georgia last year. Like the Georgia teams that won national championships, yeah, they were super freaking talented, right? Let's make sure we say that very, very clearly. A lot of draft picks on the defensive side of the football for Georgia. Brock Bowers was playing tight end. There was a lot of really good football players, but there's always good football players for Georgia, right? So what makes the difference for them? To me, it was we're going to take it to you mentality that those teams had that I didn't see Georgia have last season. Now, what goes into that, I don't know. Some of that could be quarterback-driven. Some of that could be the injuries. Some of that could be, complacency. I don't know what it goes into, but I do know this. Gunnar Stockton, and we say this a lot, him going into the game against Texas in Atlanta for the SEC championship, you could pick up on a certain vibe from the football team behind Gunnar Stockton and the overall attitude and persona they had when he was in the football game. Now, ended up not making a difference against Notre Dame, but I think with a full offseason now, when you're going into enemy territory in one of the most storied venues in college football, you need your quarterback to have a by any means necessary kind of approach. Gunnar Stockton, we might need 15 carries from your brother. We might need you to get your block knocked off yet again to get a first down on 4th and goal, or 4th and whatever it is, 4th and medium. We might need some of that from you. So for Gunnar Stockton to be willing to do the dirty work, if you will, I think his team will respond well to that, and I think that's a situation where Georgia would, in that storyline, find themselves on the winning side. So right now, I lean Georgia in this football game. Too talented. I really love Gunnar Stockton. The Kirby Smart of it all is hard to discount. Also, Joey Aguilar not getting spring football with Tennessee makes me a little bit cautious. We will give you our official pick when it gets closer, but the aftermath for this, let's go ahead and say that our lean is incorrect right now, and let's just say we go out picking Tennessee when it gets to the week of, and we're right. If Georgia loses, the anxiety around that fan base and just the overall outlook for them going forward, still play Texas, still play Ole Miss, still play Bama. You already have one down, already one loss on the board. If you lose another one, and Georgia's sitting there with 2 losses, we've seen now in the 12-team playoff, if you lose 3, you're not getting in. Now, is that the case this season? I don't know, but I don't think you want to sit there on Selection Sunday with 3 losses. Now, it's hard to imagine that being the case for Georgia, but we'll see what happens. For Tennessee, year 5 under Josh Heupel, with the SEC champs coming to your place with a new quarterback for them, a new quarterback for you, I think this is going to be a really good measuring stick for where they are from a roster perspective, because for the longest time, Tennessee, they've been building the trenches to win football games like this. More years than not, I'd be wildly surprised if Tennessee didn't have what they needed at quarterback or what they needed on the receiver side of things or the skill player side of things. The key for Tennessee from going from good borderline tier 1 team to being firmly in that tier 1 sector of the SEC is, do they have those big human beings to go compete and go win football games against the Georgias of the SEC and the Georgias of college football and so on and so forth to compete with the rest of the country. So I can't wait for this one. This will tell us a lot in terms of the table setting for both these schools. But again, give us your pick or your lean, I suppose, we sit here right now in the month of May for Georgia going to Tennessee week 3 of the college football season. I cannot wait for this one. Going to be a lot of fun. So again, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're locked in. Let us know what other never too early previews you want from us here on this channel. College football season right around the corner. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We will keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time.